Hey there, what is going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Welcome back to the Fireside Chat. It's been a minute, you could say that. So, along with our two good friends that are normally on here, which is HTR and Bodean, we also have the pleasure, again, this is a repeat show offender, Bry The Biker's in the house. So welcome, Bry. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really nice to see everybody again. Colin, it's been too long.
I know, it's been, what, 12 hours?
Yeah, I think I slept most of those.
Yeah, no shit. More to come on that. So, first, I want to tell everybody, thanks for stopping by again. And Mr. Bob, who do we have in the room tonight? I'll put you on the spot.
Chris.
Wait a minute. Are those pink headphones?
No, they're red.
I mean, maybe it's your color because they look a little pinkish.
They're red. You got beads on the seat of your bike, dude. Don't talk to me about my pink head.
Hey, I heard you got some beads for your bike.
Yes, some were sent to me. So, Pete's 1800, Jim Reynolds, WS Keys, Paul Beardsley, Toby is on, Chris Venus, I guess is how you pronounce the last name, Venus.
He's my BFF.
Is he? Yeah. I'm sorry, Chris. Let's see, Harley Day Riders on, HD Traveler, Road Glide Andy, who sent me the beads, which was super nice. HD Traveler, Jeffrey Scott is on. Get Her Done's on. Isn't he a comedian? Get Her Done.
Done.
The cable guy.
Yeah, Archosaurus, William Buck Brown, Mrs. Monkey is on.
The Queen.
Hey, Mrs.
Arrived.
A distinguished group for sure. Nomad Matt's on. So that's it so far.
Nomad Matt.
William Buck Brown. It sounds like a porn name, doesn't it?
It does.
William Butt. Yeah.
Buck.
Oh, Buck, not Butt.
Buck.
No, it's not Butt Brown, dude.
Not
But I mean, it
Buck.
could be technically if you want to go down that
Buck.
route.
See, you start talking about these beads, and that's what happens.
That's what happened.
WBB.
So anyway, there's a
Photo
reason
next
why
week.
we've been kind of absent for how long have we been absent for? About a month and a half.
Year.
Yeah, about a year.
It's been
Year.
a while. So I was the main culprit because of that, because of some technical issues. But I think everybody's had these types of months, or at least I have, and these guys already know it's kind of happened to me in the last like 6 weeks, off and on. And just to name a few in no particular order, my basement flooded. I got COVID. My weed eater broke. My chainsaw almost cut my finger off, and Bob's been calling me Pinky. But Bob, if you guys don't know, goes by Boo Boo now. So I'll call him that. Why he calls me Pinky.
Boo Boo.
Oh, dude, you don't want to start that war, dude.
I know,
I'm
buddy.
the wrong guy.
So I almost severed my pinky off. So, but I did have gloves on, and then like, there were several things that all happened like within a 6 weeks period. The only good thing during the whole entire time was I got to get in and ride a couple times. I did a couple trips. But then the last thing that happened is my motherboard fried on my computer. Now, Jack called me a cheap bastard because he said, just go out and buy a new one. But I'd rather I think I only paid like $350 for a new motherboard, but it took like 3 or 4 weeks to finally get in from wherever they make those things. So now it's official. Now I'm all back. We're good. And that's why we're here.
Can I ask two questions?
You
One
can
is,
ask.
why does a weed eater stop you from being on? Number one. Not sure why.
I didn't say it
followed that
stopped me from being on. I was just saying it kind of
Yeah,
blunt that.
Yeah. I agree.
He was
I agree.
depressed.
I agree that Jack is right.
What, I'm
You
a
know, I
cheap
I
bastard?
would think all these great friends that we have deserve for you to not go that long without a computer.
Well, not only that. Look at it this way. So let's say on the motorcycle, right? Let's say on his Pan America, he wanted new exhaust pipes, and they were $12,000, and he had another older set sitting there. You'd spend the $12,000.
Yeah, so.
We just want you to have a nice. We want you to have a nice Mac, be part of the Mac family.
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we really do need to solve that, Colin.
We have to fix that.
I haven't.
You're creative. You need a Mac.
You want to buy me one?
It's a character.
Sure. I
Since I'm
will
a
save
cheap
up.
bastard.
I will save up my YouTube checks, and in
Well,
6
we'll start-
years, I'll get you one.
We'll start a GoFundMe for Colin.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
For
Maybe
just
I'll get
$1 a
couple
day,
bucks
we can
out
get Colin a MacBook.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna do a couple topics tonight, guys, and then we'll do a couple rapid fires. But Brys first, for those of you who don't know him, but a lot of people do.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
been on YouTube for a long time now. I think 1995, I think, is when you started. I think before even YouTube came online, you were here. So he does a lot of good things on his channel. So make sure you check him out. Bry, now you get to talk about yourself again, introduce for the people that don't know you, and then we'll go into the show.
Sure. So I'm Brian. I go by Bry the Biker on social media. I ride a 2020 Road Glide Limited. Shark Nation, the greatest motorcycle ever invented by Harley Davidson. Sorry, Colin. Still love you. Yeah. So that's just me. I mean, I'm just a dude. We were doing live streams on Wednesday. We'll be back to that shortly. And generally put videos out on Wednesdays. I concentrate on a lot of install videos. Some mental health things like that. And apparently I'm Mrs. Monkey's spirit animal. So big love to Mrs. Monkey.
What does that mean?
I'm her spirit animal?
Yeah, what kind of animal? What does that really mean, spirit animal?
I think she just sort of like channels my ass. I don't know. You're the pro here.
I'm asking, I'm seeking to understand. I just don't, people say that. I just don't get it. So maybe she can tell us.
I think it's cool that you're a spirit animal, buddy.
That means
you're connected some way.
We were talking about work the other day about what's the other animal? Comfort animal, or people put these little.
Yeah, you have the service animal, and then I think
service animal,
support, emotional support animal.
Yeah, I told him at work I'm getting an alligator, putting on a leash and putting a little vest on him. I'll walk around with it.
I've been looking for a pygmy goat as a support animal, because if I can get a sidecar on my Road Glide, it's a whole new channel.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Ryan, you said you wanted to get a pig?
No, I want to get a pygmy goat with glasses. Come on.
I thought you said pig.
The little pigs are cool too.
So Mr. Monkey says, I feel like mine is a skunk with a drinking problem. Can we do a poll on what spirit animal we should all be? Because I think we got something here. Mrs. Monkey's brilliant.
Not only is she brilliant, Bob, she's beautiful.
Oh, no kidding there.
I'm trying to kiss her butt now.
Hi, Robin. Robin, Lady Biker's here.
How you doing, Robin? 6 in the morning, right? It's 12 hours. Is that right? Something like that. 12 hours ahead of us. Time machine. Yeah. All right. So, Bry, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Oh, Jesus.
Bry attended his first rally.
I did.
And so this is kind of like a topic for all of us. And I wanted to kind of, Bry and I just had the privilege of going to OC Bike Fest along with a bunch of other people. And this was Bry's first rally ever, correct?
Correct.
I know the boys down below you have done both of them, correct? Not OC Bike Fest, but I know you guys have both done rallies. So I want you to talk about like your experience, man, and kind of like what you really got out of it, what you thought about it. Because I know in the beginning, did you have any trepidations about going?
Oh, 100%.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Talk about the good things, the things you would change, like your overall experience, and I'll have the same topic for the guys below.
Yeah, I would say that my experience has been, I was blown away by how much fun we had. It was a really great time. It was a really easy, great ride down there. It was our first road trip on the new bike. So we had a chance to really put the bike through its paces and try out some of the mods. It was really great. I was a little disappointed in the vendor selection. The companies that I would have loved to have seen, primarily like Custom Dynamics, Mustang. Those guys weren't there. Chromeworks was there, which was really cool to meet those guys. It was a really good experience, really good food. I really it was an opportunity to meet a lot of people. I actually, for the first time, got recognized in public, which I thought was absolutely hysterically cool.
Dude, you had like a heart on after that. I mean, his head was so freaking big.
When the story gets told to my grandchildren, even though, and this is the beauty of YouTube, it'll always be preserved. They didn't recognize the beard, and he was standing next to me. So my ego is a little out of control.
Was it the police?
It was the Secret Service. They're like, "Sir, did you write this letter?" No.
It was a guy. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It was a guy that came up to him and says, "Look, I have India Ridge boots on."
He did. If you look on my Instagram, it was really funny. I've talked to him, and he had a pair of the new Wingman boots on, so it was really cool. It was a really great experience. The only only thing that I found hard is, and I don't know, Colin, how you felt about it. Staying off the island was a little difficult because you needed the bike to go everywhere, which is good and bad. But we did have a Wawa right down the street. By the way, Bob, it is the greatest gas and coffee institution in the free world.
I need new friends.
You do.
I do.
I need a friend, but hey, whatever.
Dude, I was so happy that he was a Wawa fan, just FYI, for the two losers below. Go ahead. Keep going.
And the thing that I was really disappointed was the parking at the convention center. It was absolutely impossible to get in there the day we went. But you
guys, I mean, just so everybody knows, if you've never been to Ocean City, I mean, I've only been, this was my second year doing a rally. I mean, obviously there's people on here that have done Sturgis for years and years and years in all types of different places. Robin just talked about, was it Bike Girls Ride Out? Is that what she said a second ago? Or Babes, what's it called again, guys? She just had it. Babes Ride
Out. Babes Ride Out.
Laconia, the next year, like Myrtle Beach. There's all these Daytona, obviously. There's all these different rallies. And I went for the first time last year with these guys. Most of you guys all know George and Bert, the Baggers and Brews crew. And they were so gracious to let me hang with them last year. And they were up there this year. And it was cool that Bry kind of seeing what I did my first year. And then Bry coming up and kind of getting that experience. And I mean, the way I could sum it up, honestly, is like I'm not an expert, and I'll let you two go into your things in a second, Bob and Jack. But the biggest reason I dig them is the camaraderie, is the friends, man. I mean, like Ocean City and the eastern shore of Maryland isn't like the greatest riding, honestly. It's a lot of rural roads. It's kind of like Daytona. There's really no places to ride. You go for the experience. But I like OC because it's so spread out. Then you have it's so many buildings out there. You can go down the main drag. You have obviously the ocean, the boardwalk. But a lot of the places down there are cool as hell to hang out with, and just hanging out with friends. And I told Bry this. I said, if you go to a rally, I mean, you can do this, but I think it's much better if you go with somebody, a friend of yours, just to hang out instead of going solo. But could you go solo? Absolutely. But just having that person just to hang out with. Brian, I think you and your bride and I, we hung out the most during the weekend.
Yeah.
And we hung out with everybody else, Baggers and Brews. So it was a great time. So thanks. I'm glad you had a great experience, dude. I'd do it again. And we were talking. That's the last thing I asked him before we departed the other day. So you coming back next year. And what did you say?
Absolutely.
So
I take that back. We may go to Laconia because the first thing Katie said is, well, what other rallies are around? So she's obviously interested. So I don't know, but I would definitely, I wouldn't think twice about going back.
Now, Laconia is that's New Hampshire.
Correct.
So that's a ride, man. I mean, that's a definite. I mean, because I haven't gone to that rally, but I've been to New Hampshire. Beautiful riding out there, man. I mean, that and Sturgis, the riding's outstanding.
Did you have crabs or Thrasher's fries while you were there? You didn't have Thrasher's fries? You need to go back and just get those.
No, we ate it. There's, for those of you that don't know, they have some like traditional, like a big restaurant out there called Secrets. We did a meet and greet, or Baggers and Brews did, and we kind of just rode their coattails. Brian and I did. And like a meet and greet at a place called Fishtails, and that was a great time. We had a really good time there. And I didn't tell you guys know I hate seafood. So, and Bry, I'm not correct. You're not a big seafood guy, correct?
I am highly allergic to shellfish,
correct.
So it would have made the trip. It would have made for a good video for you. I should have probably took one for the team.
But we had, I tell you, I drank way too much. I mean, my body is not reacting even today. It's still taking its toll. It's like I think I slept for like 12 hours and I felt like I'm like still hungover. So I wish I was like 20 again. I got to remember my body doesn't act like a 50-year-old, but I still had a great time. I mean, with Jack and Bob, when we hang out, we do the exact same thing. We drink way too much, but it was a good time. So Jack and Bob, how about you, like on your rally experiences, like good and bad things about them? And I know you've done a couple, Bob, or is it just the one in Daytona?
Just really the one in Daytona.
So what's your take?
Well, it did one in Erie too, Jack. I don't know if Erie counts, but you know what? We did Daytona. It's been a couple years ago, and it was good because it was snowing like hell in Pittsburgh at the time, so we loved it. Honestly, I loved it. Riding up the coast during the day, people watching at night. You know, I was there with the wife and another couple, so you know, late in the evening it can get a little crazy, but I actually loved it. I really did. You know, like I said, at some point you got to turn in before it gets a little crazy at night. But other than that, I love the riding. Don't forget to wash your bike because you're down there by the ocean, by the way.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Now I heard that the riding's not that good out there in Florida, right? I mean, it's flat.
Yeah, I liked it, but hell, I went from snow to short sleeve shirts, so I guess.
Yeah, so you're in heaven, dude.
Yeah, but no, it was right. I liked it.
Jack?
Yeah, I was writing down these 3 that I've been to. Like Bob said, Erie was rural on the shore. They actually don't have that anymore because the locals kind of ran it off. Thunder on the Strip in Ohio, and Thunder in the Valley in Johnstown, PA. And I've taken Mrs. HDR with me on these different rallies. Her take on it could be different than our take, I think, because her take on it was basically they're all the same, right? They all have vendors, they all sell beer, and they all sell food. So, and that's her biggest take on it. My take on it's like you guys. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to see people. You get to see groups of people walking around that you try to avoid and stay away from. And that's another question coming up here soon. Unless they're single people. And we'll talk about that soon. But my take on it personally, I mean, I like it. And I tried to talk to Road Glide Andy about that. I know he's trying to set up a thing with the Windy 9 this year. We all were just recently up there. And like VAM, meetups a lot of times are like rallies. They're not really just for the riding. Of course, Sturgis is different. There's a lot of roads out there you want to see, and you don't get there very often. But most of the time, it's because we get together and speak to like-minded people about something we love. We all love the same thing, motorcycles. So that's kind of my take on it. I mean, sometimes the downside, obviously, you have people that drink too much and think that they can still ride their motorcycles the same as when they're sober, and that's a little unsettling. But hey, ride your ride, man. Do what you want to do.
Jack, I'm not so sure if I think it's all the same vendors like you talked about, but man, I love seeing all the bikes, honestly.
Yeah, the bikes are cool. Oh yeah, man. I take a lot of pictures. You're right, Bob. I love seeing the bikes.
Gives you lots of good upgrade ideas, that's for sure.
Maybe that's a bad thing, seeing the bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I mean, yeah, there were some incredible bikes down there for sure. I mean, my head hurt with all the pipes and everybody went to rev bomb at the same time. Yeah, it's like, damn, this is loud as shit.
If I don't hear another rev bomb, it'll be too long.
Sometimes when you see them bikes like that, some of them people build the bikes just for rally. Like, they don't ride, obviously. They're so loud.
Oh, they're show bikes, man. But
yeah, right. Show bikes. Where would some of those bikes aren't riding bikes.
We saw, what was that, Bry? What was it, 1910s Indian? Like,
cool.
Did you see that? There were 3 of them. They actually rode them in. Yeah, they actually rode these 3 bikes in, and they're over 100 years old. I thought that.
Did you get pictures?
Bry, did you? I might have.
I was kind of, the funniest part about that is the guy went by under its own power and you couldn't hear it over the music. So it was like this, it was almost like a bicycle going by. It was hysterical.
Oh, wow.
But it was cool. I've never seen one of those in person.
Did you make any videos? Because I remember going to Daytona and I got, copyright strike notices all day long after I started putting videos out that I had to clean up.
I
put
put up
music on and all that stuff.
I put a couple shorts up and I didn't film anything. I just wanted to really take it in and enjoy it. And
good for you.
And Bob, honestly, I didn't film a ton either.
That's good.
Here and there, a lot of B-roll, but I honestly, even though I had the equipment, you'd be proud of me. I got everything in the tour pack. And for those you guys don't know, no. Oh yeah. Just anybody want to bust my balls on that? I didn't even bring my backpack, but Bry brought a Merce, right? You brought, you were wearing a Merce.
It was a camera satchel.
See,
show it.
Do you have it? You got to show this, dude.
Dude.
No, I don't have it in the
looking
office.
for my backpack.
Dude,
No, of course.
dude, unless you're carrying a firearm in there, you can't have one of those.
Well, where was I going to carry my GoPros and my mics and all the stuff I didn't use? I have to say, and I know it's probably the wrong audience for this, but if you're going to go to your first rally, leave the camera at home. Just take it in.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much fun, and it wasn't social media can ruin a lot of things, you know, and it's like we were just having fun, and there was just no, I don't know. It was just great to just have fun. You know, and the ride down and back was fantastic. Yeah,
and I'm glad your bride came with you. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I was my wife actually. My daughter she's a manager at her school for football, so they actually had a football game in Maryland, like 30 minutes. So like I had to break away, but she came down, and my wife got to meet everybody, which was really cool. She brought a friend, and then we all had dinner, and then that was good. Because no one believed me that I was actually married. So I'm glad that she actually finally made an appearance and showed up. But it was a good time, man. Really, really good time. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Now, we've talked about this as a group. Obviously, there's a lot of people on here, especially like Professional Monkey, who's the god of this. We're Sturgis. One day I would love to go out there. And I haven't had that experience yet. And I know I need a couple weeks to do it. And I think, Bob, one day you want to do it. Jack, you've been there, but you went a week before, if I remember right.
2 weeks before.
2 weeks before. But I would love to go out there just for the riding. You know,
it's
Needles.
Amazing.
I mean, all those places out there. I'm like envious when I see all the videos out there and how beautiful all the riding is. But that would be a commitment for me to do for sure, with distance wise and then time off work. And then is there any other places you guys like bucket list rallies that you would like to go to? I think we talked about Laconia. Any other place that kind of stands out? Any of you guys?
I would like to go to the Harley homecoming rally that they do every year. I was there for the 95th before I even rode for work. I'd love to go back. I think that'd be fun.
Cool.
I think it'd be nice to do the one in Florida Bob did during the winter, just because what he said is just to get away from the cold for a while and get out there with a T-shirt on.
Yeah, Bob, did you do it? You did it in March, right, Bob?
Yeah. I think that's the bigger one of the two. They have one in the fall. I forgot what it's called.
Oktoberfest.
But
yeah,
some people say they like that better because there's less people. But for our first big experience, I thought that was pretty cool. So
March,
that would be great.
You really got to do Sturgis. I mean, I want to do Sturgis for a couple days of the rally, but I just want to ride the roads. See some of that stuff. But if you're going to be out there, you got to experience the craziness for a couple days, right? So,
all right.
And I think there's enough places in Sturgis to stay further away. Like you can even go to, Wyoming is where we stayed one night, couple nights, just far enough outside of it. But like you said, you can ride everything and then go into town for a couple days for the rally. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, I think it was Archosaurus. A second ago, you asked on here, and I forgot to pop it up here. Did I stay in a B&B? No. But the 8 guys did. Baggers and Brews group. They stayed on one right downtown, I think, on the island. If I'm a big group, I'm definitely doing Airbnb for sure. Because, I mean, we've done that, the 3 of us, multiple times. But Brian and I actually stayed in the same hotel. Or motel, I think is what we would call this.
No-tell motel.
It was a little. It was nice room, but something happened to me. Like the second night I was there, I think I told you this, Bry. They didn't the office. It's one of these like mom and pop places, so they don't open. They told us, well, we're off peak, and I'm like, the hell, you're off peak. There's freaking thousands of bikes here, but obviously, getting out of the summertime for an ocean area. But they didn't open their office until like 8 a.m., which means no coffee, nothing. So at 5 a.m, I was going, and this is the type of room that didn't have a coffee maker. It had like a really rundown refrigerator that made noises. But then I had to go to Wawa 2 blocks down. Well, as soon as I got out, I had my key card and my phone. And then my phone, I guess, wiped out the key card, and I shut the door. I couldn't get back in my room. So this was like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I can't do anything about this, so I got to wait till 8 o'clock. But I actually went to, there's a hotel next to it that I went to. And blind luck, I just went up to them and asked them, I said, by chance, do you have the number to the people that work here? And they're like, well, I actually have a master key, which was like a block and a half away. So they let me in. So it was like, so I was running around trying to get a key. So if you're going to get a place, make sure you get one that's open 24 hours and not like 9 to 5 type hours. Let's put it that
Somebody
way.
told us that we went away. We went away last week. I had to go to college, and the lady at the front desk said, don't get the key card next to your cell phone.
Yeah, it definitely screwed it up. And I had actually had 3, and I had them all in my pocket for some reason. I don't know why.
You don't know how many times
you probably
when I was-
handed them out.
Yeah,
Well,
you
yeah,
don't know how many times I was traveling, Jack, that you did that, and you go right back down and go, "Oh, I need my key." Can I share a funny text I got or disturbing text I got? So I get up one morning, and it's from Bry, and he's in the shower or out of the shower, and he's shaking the shower head. It looks like he's living on the street. And I looked at it, and while it was funny, I'm like, dude, just tell me you're dressed. Please just tell me you're dressed when you're sending this to me. So can you confirm that you had clothes on when you were doing that, please?
I was just trying to show you that the hotel we were not staying at was not at the quality that Colin is used to.
That must have drove him nuts.
Oh, you have no idea.
Hey, but was there any Colin? Was there any ants in the room? I mean,
no ants.
Did you set it up?
No, I had a place down on the island, and they changed management like 3 months ago, and they actually sent me an email saying we're changing the rates. So they jacked up the rates a lot higher, and I was like, "This is bullshit." Yeah. So I ended up canceling that, and Bry's like, "Hey, I got this hotel. Check this place out." All right. So I did, and I'm like, "Oh, this place looks pretty good in the pictures." Well, the rooms actually weren't half bad. I mean, they really weren't. I mean, honestly, the only time we were there is at night. I mean, that's when you go to these places, you're never in your hotel room and just till you pass out at night and wake up the next morning. But we weren't in there a lot because we were on the island most of the days, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, it wasn't somewhere I'd want to.
Yeah, we're not going to stay there again.
I mean, for the price, it wasn't bad.
No, not at all. You just get what you paid for.
It was safe. Nobody lit my bike on fire. Sorry.
Nope. All right, guys. So I want to just get you guys take. Do you have anything you want to see on upcoming models? 2023, any wish list? I know they come out with January, right? Is that correct? The new models
early in the year, yep.
Yeah, January now.
And I know what Jack, I already know you. I can read you like a book, man. What are you gonna say? Electric windshield.
I don't think there's anything right now. Right now, with my recent purchase, there's nothing they can come out with that's going to make me run out and buy it. But I only have like 5 more payments, and the bike is mine. I own it. The bank gives me the title, and it's like, now it's all equity. I told Miss Sacher, and she's like, "Yeah, don't even think about it." But who knows? Who knows?
Nothing. Don't want to see anything different. No. Bob, how about you?
Dude, I hate to say it. I'm like Jack. I'm not getting a new bike, so I don't really care that much. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it, right? I don't have a bike that I go, I wish it had this. And if a new one comes out, I'm going to make a change. I don't know.
All right, great discussion, you two.
Hey, the new Road Kings will look good to you, Colin.
I'll tell you a story in a second, Bob.
Okay.
I'll tell you a second. You'll be proud of me. Bry, how about you? You got anything you want to add, or we just skip this question?
I mean, like everybody in the side chat saying, it'd be great to see the RevMax engine at some point. I'll get the only thing I think would be cool would be adaptive cruise control, but I don't see Harley doing that anytime in the near future.
Well, what's adaptive cruise control? Wait, back.
So BMW has it on their new bike, cool colors. Yeah, that's what we look forward to every year. It's a new blue. Adaptive cruise control senses the vehicle in front of you and then keeps the same pace.
Like you got
my wife's car has that.
Yeah.
I can't stand it because you know what? You're cruising down, your cruise control set at 80, and all of a sudden it's like beep beep. She goes, "Why are you hitting the damn brakes?" I'm like, "I'm not. The car is." So I know what you're saying. It's a good safety feature.
You trust it?
You could.
I wouldn't trust that, man.
Well, her car also has drive assist where I can hit a button and it drives itself down the road.
Yeah.
You have to touch the steering wheel every 5 minutes so it knows you're awake, I think is why they do that. But yeah, I mean, I can see, Bry, why you're saying that. It is a good safety feature, but it is annoying.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I mean, it's good and
I
bad.
honestly would argue I don't know how you could make my bike much better. I'm sure that'll blow the side chat up, but I'm happy with it. I don't know really what more they can do.
Your bike, I mean, I saw it's the first time I saw it up close. So it was pretty sharp, man. Yeah,
I think that's the problem. That's the problem with
nice
Harley
ride,
right
dude.
now. Harley Davidson's making such good, well-built, dependable motorcycles that you can have it for 250,000 miles and be just fine. You know, so they're not making things that you have to replace every 2 years. It's not like your toaster, you know.
Depends on who you talk to about that comment, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it depends on who you talk to. I'm sure.
First, Bob, you're going to be proud of me, and let me preface it by saying everybody knows I have a Street Glide Special, and I really do like it.
It's cute.
It's not cute. It actually rides very strong, and it's much faster than your bike. Just so you
It's
know.
very fast. You can't keep up with them. Go ahead, Colin.
Those pipes are cute too.
Oh, fuck you.
Look, I was being respectful of my speed. I didn't realize we were going to have to race, but all right.
Anyway, I tell you what, the more I saw him, the more I looked. That's going to be my next bike. Is I'm gonna switch teams. I know you would give me the heart symbol, but I just started looking at him and really walking around. And again, this is down the road. This isn't anytime soon. I brought this question up to see if you guys would actually have some thoughts on anything that you really wanted. But I think because let's be honest, I'd say probably 85% of the bikes there were road glides, correct, Bry? I mean, I'd say
No, I think it was more street glides.
I saw a ton of road glides, and I just started looking at them more and walking around, and I just started growing on me more. And then riding home, I just start seeing a lot that passed me. So I don't know. I mean, I've always been on the fence about them. I still love the SGS, and like you had your Ultra. I know you liked it, and then you switched over. There's nothing wrong with it at all, but I think ultimately that might be the better fit for me down the road. So,
What happened to you?
You look 5 years ago though. 5 years ago, it was all batwing fairings. Nobody wanted to road glide. Maybe it was even 8 years ago, but you'd go to Raleigh's and all you seen, everybody wanted a Street Glide Special.
Yep.
You
What
couldn't keep
happened,
it.
Colin?
The real Jackie boy. Look at all these freaking people.
What happened?
Oh, let's see.
What
Road glide
happened?
finally.
They don't know who you are.
They don't know who I am.
Is it going to be as long as it is to get the computer fixed, or are you going to get it sooner? Is it like
Probably a couple years from now.
in this century?
Do you want me to say the same thing I told Bry a minute ago?
He's waiting for the new motor because he wants it to be super cool.
You
No, I don't know. I think Harley's going to. I don't know because what's next year's 120, right? 120 year. So I'm sure they're going to come up with some type of scheme or paint scheme to kind of commemorate that. I know they're doing the thing at the museum next year, correct, in Milwaukee, to celebrate that. We've heard that they're doing the 975. Well, they've done it, but like they're putting another, like a possible smaller adventure bike. I know Jack, you and I talked about that before. I don't think, honestly, it's going to be several years before we see a Rev Max engine in baggers. I think eventually it might come, but you have to redesign the entire bike, correct? You would. I mean, that's not going to work on that frame. So you have to completely redesign it. It'll eventually happen. And how long do they usually keep engines around with Harley?
The
Well, at that point,
it was what, 8? If that?
8, 9? I can't remember because
At that point, do you think the frame would look more like a Honda Goldwing? How they're building those with like the pegs instead of the floorboards, and
I think Harley will stick to its roots, man.
where they would get. Well, you said redesign the frame, so I'm hearing that this bike would be taller with the Revolution Max engine.
I don't think it'll necessarily be taller. I think the way they design adventure bike would. I'm talking about a bagger, dude. So like,
That's what I'm talking about. The baggers. How would you're saying the engine wouldn't fit. You can't just blow an engine out and put that engine in.
Well, not the way it is now. Not the
Okay.
engine is now. They'd have to redesign it. I'm just saying with that whole high compression. I don't know. I mean, that's just.
Oh,
I
I
don't think it's going to happen in 2023 though.
What the hell happened to you in Ocean City? We've been beating on you for years, and now you go to Ocean City with Brian. You're coming back, and you're going to finally get the right bike.
Bry did slip a
What
couple
did
things
we
in my
not do
trade.
right? What did we
Well,
not
I
do
mean,
right?
he saw my Road Glide with the 16-inch bars and the pipes, and he's like, getting
wanna
all
be
those
like Bry.
looks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
I just want to say, for the record, when I came out of the bar, there were a bunch of 1%ers checking out my bike. True story. So I might be onto something. It might
And
be
you
a
gave
look.
him a sticker too.
Yeah, they weren't interested. But
They were probably getting ready to steal it until you came out.
probably no, they were great. No, I have to. All kidding aside, man. Thursday night we were in that bar. It was probably half. What would you say, Colin? Half, if not
Oh yeah.
a little under half of 1%ers there.
Yep.
We had no issues, zero issues, and I wouldn't have expected it. It was a great time.
Had
I
they
think
seen
that's
Colin's
being
bike?
conservative, actually, Bry. I think there were a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Had they seen Colin's Street Glide before? There was
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that's what
in
brought
all
him
fairness,
all
they
in.
couldn't see past the lights. Colin in your rear view mirror is the greatest experience everyone needs to go through. It's just this glow. There's not even a bike behind you. It's just the sun following you. Awesome.
Hey, Colin, your bike is in my opinion, the best color Harley.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I would love it. I mean,
It
'cause, like,
is.
right now all they have is that. I mean, everyone's different, but they've got that reef blue, I think, on the road glides. The reef blue and black, if I remember
Are
right.
you looking for a special or a limited?
I'd probably do the limited route. Now, limited's the blacked out, right?
No, the limited.
I got it.
Well, the limited has the tour pack, the hard lowers stuff.
Mine's a limited, Colin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd do limited.
Yeah.
I'd probably do limited.
I just talked to somebody yesterday. They're trying to rebuild their Road Glide special into a limited, or because then you got to buy the bags, you got to buy the hearts, and you got to buy the lowers. And he said it probably would have been cheaper to buy the limited and take the tour pack off. I said, yeah, that's the way to go.
I want to do a color swap on my bike after seeing some of those bikes there this weekend.
Bry, you mind answering that?
They did actually. They didn't. Apparently, YouTuber stickers are not big in the 1% community, but they did like my backpack.
Merce.
They gave me
No,
a
they
few things
didn't.
to hold on, but they wouldn't let me look in the backpack. So
No, they didn't. They felt so sorry for you that they didn't want to give you a hard time.
yeah, that's probably true.
It'd be like when the
It's
wild
gross.
hogs. It'd be kind of like when the wild hogs met those 1%ers with Bry walking in with that purse on.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look at me! I mean, hey guys, look at me!
Colin's just trying to deflect from the backpack last year, Bryce. So now you got it. So
Oh, his backpack. Yeah, that was.
That's all I kept thinking when we were at the convention center. Parking the bike. Don't drop the bike. Don't drop the bike.
It
I was
was-
going to be Pee Wee Herman and just domino the bikes. Because that would be something I would do.
Colin last year kind of reminded me of a schoolboy around a bunch of bikers. Hi guys, can I hang out with you?
I can just see Brian and I with two guys with glasses sitting in a corner drinking a beer, surrounded by all these 1%ers. Hey guys.
Hey guys, look
Hey,
at my
guys.
GoPro bag.
please subscribe and hit like.
Oh.
Do you want to see my mic? I'll let you hold it.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true.
I
All right,
never
what do you
felt like
guys
a
have?
rub.
Do you have any plans for next
I never
year?
felt like a rub more than that year. Yes,
I
that.
know. What plans you guys have for next year? Anything? Riding
Oh.
plans. You got? I haven't even started thinking about it, to be honest with you. I know a couple people already have, but anything, Bry, that you have coming up? You're thinking?
I
next
want to
year
get to
that
the
you're
museum
gonna
in
do?
Milwaukee. I was talking about going out to see Bob. I really want to get to Skyline Drive and to the Smoky Mountains next year. That's big on my list. Actually, I still have some time in this year to get some major riding in. So, Smoky Mountains, Skyline Drive. Kind of on the fence about the Dragon, but
That's right. You've
definitely
never
want to do
been.
another rally.
You've never been to Tennessee?
I have not.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
Tennessee,
Got it.
Kentucky.
Got to go to VAM.
Kentucky's gorgeous.
We ride all those roads.
Kentucky's gorgeous.
Yeah, you know, and that's the other thing too. I mean, next year a lot of things are going to change. So it would be cool to go to VAM and meet everybody. That was the best part of the experience, was putting a face to a name, a personality to a name, whatever you're gonna say.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to a point. I mean, I'll go over YouTube before I go over where I want to do next year, or kind of have ideas. But we do the same areas pretty much every year. At least I have the last 3 or 4 years. Obviously, it's my geography where I live. Now I have the option of going super long distances, but I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to start probably try to get like a week and a half, 2 weeks off, and do longer trips. You know, I know Bob, you talked about in a video you did about a month ago about riding solo, just across many states and doing whatever you'd like. I'm kind of getting that same vibe. I mean, I'd like to do it with a group, but I want to do different states. So, Jack, how about you? Before I talk about mine, Jack and Bob.
I'm thinking I want to do the TAT this year with Colin and with Pete's 1800. So
Do the what?
There's thing called the TAT where you ride across dirt, like cross country. Adam Sandoval.
The BDR?
No, it's not the BDR. It was, I can't remember.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but anyway, he did it a while ago. So that would be cool. Pete talked about coming out towards Pennsylvania and going out and do some dirt riding. But yeah, the BDR, Colin, would be, to me, that one video you sent, I was mesmerized. It was like, I could do that for a week, hanging out with everybody and just traveling. You know, they stayed at some cool locations. They were on the back dirt roads. So I think that would be a blast. And like you said, we do kind of ride the same stuff, but it's because we like to get together. And the three of us are so far apart, you know, and that's the bad side of it. So
are we really though?
well, I don't know. Maybe Ohio again, you know.
It's a day ride, you know, it's
yeah, pretty much, to get pretty much anywhere between the three of us. But and I've been wanting to do 66, and I've been looking for a few people to go from Chicago to the West Coast. So it's going to be at least a 2-week trip, and I want to try to do it. I like to pack camping gear and just try to camp the whole way.
And the thing, what I don't know is 66 decent riding, like a motorcycle, or is it more just the stuff?
No, it's not. No, it's not curvy or chopped up, but it's just the scenery you're going to see, right? The old ghost towns and the desert and all that stuff. Like we went down this year in the car, and we made it into, what was it? We went through. We stayed in Missouri. We made it into Oklahoma, and right at the edge. That's as far as we went. So, but I would love to go the whole way on a bike, obviously. But so
Bob, how about you?
That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and do one of the rides or one of the events in Florida somewhere. You know how much I love Tennessee and Kentucky riding, so I'd really want to do that. And I really want to get up to Sturgis, but you know, every time I watch Pro Monkey, I'm like, dude, if we're gonna make that decision, we got to get on it, right, and get planning it and get it set up. So,
and he's the man to talk to about that.
He's the guy to talk to about that for sure. So, but you know what? No,
that's good. I mean, we got to plan that like now. We got to start. We really want to do these things next year, like the big rallies. We got at least a year and out, or a year more out. Like the one we just did. I think, Bry, I don't know if you did it, make reservations already because the prices are so high and they sell out quick. So it's the same thing with like any of these rallies. You got to get really booked well out advance. But I think what Bry, you said, I think it'd be cool to do like from me to go up to Michigan or go up and meet Jack in Pennsylvania. And then we meet up. But I've never actually been to Michigan. I've flown in, but I've never actually rode out there. But that would be cool. I would love to next year. Probably my biggest thing is I'm shooting for again is to go back up to New England and see upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire again, Maine, that entire area. I know, Jack, you did it, correct?
Yes, we went all the way into Maine.
Freaking incredible riding. I mean, it's one of my favorite is out there in the Adirondacks in New York, and it's just incredible by Lake. Is it Lake Champlain? Is that how you pronounce it? Up by the Canadian border. Just freaking awesome. And you know, I think we all talk about like Tennessee is amazing, and it is. Virginia, but it's like the East Coast is just so many types of roads. I haven't been to West Virginia. I'm going in 2 weeks, but in a while, like doing some West Virginia riding. We're just very blessed to have so many areas by us that we can do. But eventually, though, I want to take more time to get out to the West Coast. And that's going to take a long time and a lot of planning to do.
It'll be faster on the road glide.
You think?
Because you're going to get a 131, so it'll be a lot faster.
You'd be more comfortable.
But I want to do Colorado. I grew up there, so I definitely want to go out there. And I don't know, California would be fun just to ride the Pacific Coast Highway, but California's wacky, so I always try to stay away from that place. But Bob was trying to be funny.
Sorry, I was looking at Real Jackie Boy's comment. You know what, though, Colin? We always talk about that, but you got to put pen to paper and make reservations.
Yeah.
To me, it's you're riding a week or two with buddies, right? And then you're going to an event. It may be an event with buddies, but to me, I got to start locking them down because it gets to that next year and you're like, oh, crap, I don't have time to set it up. Or, I want to go to Sturgis, but it's March and I can't stay. To me, it's just got to pick because there's so many to choose from and go. I mean, we all
what AB just said, Yosemite.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or what was that? The Grand Tetons going out that way. I mean, there's a lot to see when you go out west. Oh, Colin, you was talking about the main trip. Myself and Miss Story found that the one thing you can truly trust a Harley GPS for is set it on scenic routes.
Oh,
we didn't touch a highway from Maine all the way back to Pennsylvania when we came home.
Nice.
So it was amazing back roads. Amazing what you can see.
Toby, I think Toby asked how far in Maine. I only went right by, was it Portland? It was just like a half day. I didn't even go into Portland. So most of my riding was done in New Hampshire, Vermont, and New York. But Maine wasn't bad. Toby asked that, sorry. But yeah, you're right, Bob. We got to plan it, man. I mean, there's so many places I want to go and so little time, and it just, for those enthusiasts out there that always bust my chops because I put too much Pan America content on my channel, I loved riding my street glide this weekend. It's like I was thinking about it. I'm like, the little things that you miss. And I love that PA. It's a great bike, incredible bike. It's I'd do it in a heartbeat. If I do it again, I'd buy the Pan America. But at the same time, hearing the exhaust, that constant rumble, hearing the low end torque, that feel, being able to kick your feet out, listen to the stereo like at high speeds. Like, and when I say high, I think, what is it, after 55, 60, you don't hear it anymore unless you have good speakers, but the stock ones below. But still having that feeling was incredible. And it's like I haven't rode the street glide probably but 20% of the time in the last 6 months. It's been more of the Pan Am. But having that bike, it realizes why I fell in love with it in the first place and why I love riding baggers and that feel. So
isn't it way different? Isn't it way different though? I know when I get off.
It's a different style of ride, Jack, and we know that. I mean,
just the weight difference. Like my one bike's 400 and the other one's 900. I jump on, it's like, holy hell! I took it to work the other morning because I love that big fairing in front of me, man. Keep that cold air. It was 52 degrees. Keep that wind off of you.
Honestly, I love both bikes. I'm very blessed to have two bikes in completely different spectrums. But it was just cool getting back on that and enjoying it. Because I told Bry, if I took the Pan Am up, I probably would have got beat up.
And you would have had to park at Starbucks.
I would have parked at Starbucks. But I could ride on the beach. So that would have
been cool.
So there's some trade-offs. But ultimately, I had a great time, man. So that'd be cool, guys. We got to start planning. This year went by quick. Even though I know we got some rides. I think, Bry, you talking about Skyline and Blue Ridge in Tennessee. I only have that 2 hours for me as a Blue Ridge, so I'm kind of spoiled where it's so close to me, but it's a little bit farther from you. But
it's not that far. It's what, 4 hours?
No, it's not. I think you're 4 hours. So, all right, we talked about this earlier. We'll do a couple rapid fires, and then we'll wrap it up, guys. So, you guys, the loud ass bikes, loving it or hating it? Bry.
Hate it. Well, I hate it. And let me preface this. I don't mind loud bikes. I can't stand when people are just rev bombing for the sake of rev bombing. There was a lot of that at the rally. A lot of people you could tell that hadn't been on a bike in it's probably the first time they've been out on their bike in a while, and they're just rev bombing the hell out of it at lights.
They were compensating for something.
Yeah. Don't feel attacked, monkey. We understand you like loud bikes. Sorry.
Bob?
Wow, this is a tough one. I like a little bit of loud ass bikes, right? Not a lot of it, but I do like some of it, right? I mean, we're all Harley guys, right? We love something that makes some noise. Now, how much of that is the question, right? So I'm on the fence there.
Yeah, I can tell you guys that we went on a bike ride with the Hog chapter, and myself and Miss HDR was on this particular ride. And there was a guy in front of us with short shot pipes, I think they're called. Like they just come out and they go down. It was so loud. At the first gas stop, she said, if you get behind him again, she said, I'm going to call an Uber and go home. She said, this guy is obnoxiously annoying. You know, I'm with Bob. I mean, I like the rumble. I like the deep rumble of that Harley, man. It's just so unique. But and like you guys said, bombing them pipes out, that's just people do that because what they're telling you is, I don't really ride. I just go to rallies and make my bike sound this loud so I look like I'm badass. And then you look at the end of the year and ask them how many miles they rode this year. They'll tell you, yeah, I did 150 miles. That's the truth. I mean, they don't make it. They don't build them bikes to ride. So.
It's all personal preference. I mean,
it is. It's a personal preference.
It's annoying as hell sometimes, especially when there's like 50 of them at the same time.
Yeah,
because your ears get blasted out. And then coupled with that, all the different genres of music, because on top of their pipes that they want to play it the loudest ever, is they have to crank their music and show how great their stereo system is. So you got to mix a country, rock, rap, R&B all at the same time on top of the pipes. It's not a good melody. So, and it was quite painful to pick all that up at the same time. But honestly, how I look at it is I want something that's a good rumble, but I wouldn't want to ride something super loud over time because my head would probably explode. But you know what I'm saying? Just listening.
Hey, Colin, I love my Road King. My Road King has a rumble to it, and it can be loud, but it's not, it's not crazy loud, right? But there's something about having a bike that has some sound to it that I don't know, I just like, right? So
yeah,
I
mean, everyone we want to be distinguished. You know what I'm saying? That's why I brought it up. I'm just seeing if it bothers the hell out of you guys.
When I ride on my Road King, just because of the sound and how the bike is, it's a totally different mindset for me. So I do kind of like it, right?
I like when you mic'd your pipes before. I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole time, I mean, like all the vendors there, man, they had Bry, there was a ton of exhaust vendors there, that were showing off some great pipes, man. Okay, I think you're
Monkey
good
has
call
a good
out.
point though. Earplugs are essential.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a great call out, and I actually had some, but I didn't even wear them. I should have worn them, but yeah, I definitely need to do better at that.
Oh, your solution too, Colin. You said about going down the highway at 50 miles or 60, you can't hear the speakers, and you're right. So what I do is I usually play music through my Senna.
Yeah, but even that, you still can't hear it that well through the
Really?
head.
Really?
Well, I mean, maybe because I'm deaf.
My jams.
That could.
Yeah, mine does too. I can rock on.
So we talked about the music earlier, and do you guys listen to like loud music when you're riding?
Not loud.
Do you, Bry?
At
Do you
times.
crank it?
Yeah, you're talking about from the speakers.
Yeah, from your speakers.
I do.
Okay,
Blast some Lawrence Welk.
Yep, I'm loud.
Slow right well.
When you go to a stoplight, you turn it down, or do you have it set to that auto, where it changes the sound of it when it goes down automatically to stop, or do you let it crank?
For me, it's is there somebody next to you, Colin?
I don't recall that in the question. It just says, "Do you?"
I'm asking for clarification.
I don't care if there's somebody next to you. So if there's nobody next to you, obviously you're going to keep it up.
Yeah.
But let's just say freaking family of 4 in the Dodge minivans right next to you. And then
I'll
you've got
probably
AC/DC cranked on yours.
I'll probably turn it down. If
No, I
go
gotta
through a-
turn it up, man. Because if you're in a minivan and a soccer mom, you're into it.
Dude, she's going to throw your panties at you if you do that. I mean, like, have thunderstruck, like blaring, right?
If I go through a small town, I'll normally turn it down. Other than that, it's probably real loud.
It depends on the music choice too. I mean, like with me, like something pumping, I usually keep it up. I mean, it's respectful, like you said. I'm not going to sit here and if there's a ton of people around, but I don't turn it all the way down. I still keep it at a level I can hear it, just not blaring. Jack, how about you? I didn't hear yours. You said you do?
Yeah, when the speakers are up, yeah. When I go to a stoplight and there's people around, like Bob said, I do turn it down. Or when I'm pulling into our neighborhood, I'm coming off the main road, I'll turn it down.
All right, here's a stupid question, and I didn't even know this. Have you guys ever heard trikes that have like loud pipes? Trikes?
Yeah, sure.
This is the first time I've actually, maybe because I'm not around a lot of trikes, but this is the first time I actually heard a lot of trikes that were modified. And I was just getting your take. Should trikes have loud pipes?
Sure, why not? Do you?
I think
Whatever
they
makes you happy.
I think they should. It just blew me away because I'd never actually heard. And again, you don't see a ton of trikes on the road by me, but at the same time,
There was a lot at the rally. I don't know if you saw a lot.
Yeah, a lot of custom ones too.
Yeah, there's some great
Fabricated,
stuff.
like really
so.
cool different back ends and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, trikes are getting big. I just talked to somebody the other day, and they said, "Why are trikes $45,000?" I said, "Because I mean, look at the younger people now, even buying trikes. I see guys, 26, 27 now with their trikes and their wives on the back or girlfriends, or so they're getting huge.
When are you getting yours?
Not for me. I'll never own a trike ever. So I've ridden 2 of them, and I just talked to my show yesterday morning about this. When you're riding and you turn that throttle, it feels like you're just pulling this big, heavy weight behind this big ass, and it just doesn't go like a motorcycle. So that's just not for me.
They had some really sharp ones.
Oh, they're beautiful, man. And like I said, I've ridden 2 of them, but I don't think I'll own one.
For sure.
I will.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I get to that point and it keeps me riding, absolutely.
I kind of
Right.
like the spiders better. I think they're faster. I don't know.
Bob,
But
if
Mr.
I,
Jared doesn't like it.
Bob, I completely agree. If I get to that point, I'm not going to stop riding because I've got to adapt, right? That's how I look at it.
Bry, you got any closing comments you'd like to add, my friend?
No, I appreciate your hospitality during the rally. We had a blast. So
We'll do it again, my friend.
It was great to hang out with you guys as always.
Bob and
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, so Bry, thanks for coming back on the show. We appreciate you stopping by, and I've learned during this segment that never take a hotel suggestion from you, my friend, and we'll be good for that. So,
I mean, there wasn't any dead hookers under the beds. It was all right.
well, yeah, but sometimes no, we'll let that go. You don't really want. You're right. You don't want that.
You weren't in my room.
Yeah, we're in Bry's shower.
Oh, we did have the funny story, and Bry, I don't know if Bry remembers this. So we came home and it was late, and there was a you remember this?
I know where this is going.
There's this girl that married couple riders, and she was let's just say a little energetic, and she kept coming out and repeating herself like 10 times, just circling us and saying, "I'm really drunk on Jack. Wasn't she saying that? Like, I love my Jack." And then she started telling us this
just
whole
like
story
Mary.
about her childhood.
Yeah.
Her father, about Jack Daniels, completely incoherent. And then I'm texting Brian, I'm like, "Please shank her. Please get rid of her." I'm like, help.
Yeah. We didn't give her any stickers. She was
So that's where the dead hooker under your bed came from.
But yeah, there were some characters.
You shanked her. Oh, well.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
thanks everybody.
Thanks everybody for stopping by tonight. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and thank you guys for all jumping on. And again, we'll be doing this again, hopefully in the soon. We don't have anything planned. I think, Bob, you're next, or is it Jack?
Sure.
Sure. We haven't
One of
talked
us.
about it, but hopefully one
Sure.
day we'll be back. And thanks for jumping on tonight, guys, the three of you. And thanks to everybody in the side chat. You guys have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.
See ya.
Good night.
Check on a friend.
Check on a